Healthy diet. Key facts. A healthy diet helps to protect against malnutrition in all its forms, as well as non-communicable diseases, NCDs, including such as diabetes, heart disease, stroke and cancer. Unhealthy diet and lack of physical activity are leading global risks to health. Healthy dietary practices start early in life. Breastfeeding fosters healthy growth and improves cognitive development, and may have longer-term health benefits such as reducing the risk of becoming overweight or obese and developing NCDs later in life. Energy intake, calories, should be in balance with energy expenditure. To avoid unhealthy weight gain, total fat should not exceed 30% of total energy intake. Intake of saturated fats should be less than 10% of total energy intake, and intake of trans fats less than 1% of total energy intake, with a shift in fat consumption away from saturated fats and trans fats to unsaturated fats, and towards the goal of eliminating industrially produced trans fats. Limiting intake of free sugars to less than 10% of total energy intake is part of a healthy diet. A further reduction to less than 5% of total energy intake is suggested for additional health benefits. Keeping salt intake to less than 5 grams per day, equivalent to sodium intake of less than 2 grams per day, helps to prevent hypertension, and reduces the risk of heart disease and stroke in the adult population. WHO member states have agreed to reduce the global population's intake of salt by 30% by 2025. They have also agreed to halt the rise in diabetes and obesity in adults and adolescents as well as in childhood overweight by 2025.
Overview. Consuming a healthy diet throughout the life course helps to prevent malnutrition in all its forms as well as a range of non-communicable diseases, NCDs, and conditions. However, increased production of processed foods, rapid urbanization and changing lifestyles have led to a shift in dietary patterns. People are now consuming more foods high in energy, fats, free sugars and salt, sodium, and many people do not eat enough fruit, vegetables and other dietary fiber such as whole grains. The exact makeup of a diversified, balanced and healthy diet will vary depending on individual characteristics, for example age, gender, lifestyle and degree of physical activity, cultural context, locally available foods and dietary customs. However, the basic principles of what constitutes a healthy diet remain the same.
For adults, a healthy diet includes the following: fruit, vegetables, legumes, for example lentils and beans, nuts and whole grains, for example unprocessed maize, millet, oats, wheat and brown rice. At least 400 grams, that is 5 portions, of fruit and vegetables per day, excluding potatoes, sweet potatoes, cassava and other starchy roots. Less than 10% of total energy intake from free sugars, which is equivalent to 50 grams, or about 12 level teaspoons, for a person of healthy body weight consuming about 2,000 calories per day, but ideally is less than 5% of total energy intake for additional health benefits. Free sugars are all sugars added to foods or drinks by the manufacturer, cook or consumer, as well as sugars naturally present in honey, syrups, fruit juices and fruit juice concentrates. Less than 30% of total energy intake from fats. Unsaturated fats, found in fish, avocado and nuts, and in sunflower, soybean, canola and olive oils, are preferable to saturated fats, found in fatty meat, butter, palm and coconut oil, cream, cheese, ghee and lard, and trans fats of all kinds, including both industrially produced trans fats, found in baked and fried foods, and prepackaged snacks and foods, such as frozen pizza, pies, cookies, biscuits, wafers, and cooking oils and spreads, and ruminant trans fats, found in meat and dairy foods from ruminant animals, such as cows, sheep, goats and camels. It is suggested that the intake of saturated fats be reduced to less than 10% of total energy intake and trans fats to less than 1% of total energy intake. In particular, industrially produced trans fats are not part of a healthy diet and should be avoided. Less than 5 grams of salt, equivalent to about 1 teaspoon, per day. Salt should be iodized.
For infants and young children. In the first 2 years of a child's life, optimal nutrition fosters healthy growth and improves cognitive development. It also reduces the risk of becoming overweight or obese and developing NCDs later in life. Advice on a healthy diet for infants and children is similar to that for adults, but the following elements are also important. Infants should be breastfed exclusively during the first 6 months of life. Infants should be breastfed continuously until 2 years of age and beyond. From 6 months of age, breast milk should be complemented with a variety of adequate, safe and nutrient-dense foods. Salt and sugars should not be added to complementary foods.